all together.
We are.
I'm awake from my nap, so. Cindy's got numbers for us?
Yes. So, in front of you. Did you get one? There's your building fund. Reserve.
Alright.
Thank you.
Want that to go closer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And to clarify something, buddy, when we did the plowing,
Yep,
the parking lot,
yep,
amount that's in here is what we pay. Then we just take the half back that they pay us.
So $7,800 is all we pay to plow this driveway.
Right.
It's not
Right.
15.
We budget the full amount and then get
so is it
reimbursed.
15.6 or is
No,
it
no,
78?
no,
78.
it's 78.
Cause I was asking around, everybody says, geez, that's a good price. So that's
78's even better.
charge 15.
I was gonna ask if you felt better now.
Oh, I felt good before, I just,
Just question it.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
yeah,
So, Jessica, just to catch you up.
Yeah,
on
okay.
Page 6
Yep.
is one of the ones we didn't take care of. That's what that paper is in front of you.
Okay,
Before that was approved, they wanted to know what was in that account.
okay,
We raised that $1,000 and put it in that account
Okay.
each year.
Jessica, would you like us to run through it real quick?
if you don't mind, because I feel like I'm,
That's okay,
Right.
we'll start right from page 1.
okay,
We left everything alone because, well, they deserve their raises and, there's nothing else we can do about everything else. It is what it is, there has been no changes on that.
okay.
If you see anything, question, we'd be more than happy to raise your hand and say, oh, I'm gonna question that.
Okay,
And then this plowing is one of the things I questioned was 7,800.
yep,
That's your total price.
yep,
The last meeting, I thought it was 15.6 to plow this driveway. It's not, it's 7,800.
okay,
Otherwise than that, everything else was left. Now, with the new fire station is the electric bill for that. Are we gonna discontinue our electric bill up at
I'm
the
hoping so, yes.
old one and,
Yes.
okay? Everything was all left there. Page 3, that's the assessors planning. Map service ads, everything was good there. And then, go ahead.
is the fuel, is that gonna, that big increase, is that because of the cost of diesel and stuff for the, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
yep,
I'm hoping that the new fire station will stay somewhat to what the old one is.
Yeah, are we eating that?
Yes.
Propane right now, yep. On the other one.
Yeah,
It has 2 of the heaters, but this one is gonna have those heaters, plus it's gonna have either 1 or 2 heat pumps in the,
office area,
yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So, but with the amount of heat that goes out through the walls and up through the roof, and I'm hoping this one's gonna be a little
You
more
should see
efficient.
it. You should see a
I'm a little
huge,
surprised they're using fiberglass insulation in that building.
on the snow.
In fact, I'm quite surprised.
Yeah.
It's only gotta meet 29, our code 29, to be in compliance with building code.
Oh, I understand
It's
that,
a,
but we like
it's
to
a
go far
coated-
beyond.
what I was told was it has the ceiling one has a,
It's a big barrier built onto it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother argument, because back in the day, they used to, the wall insulation used to be the same as the ceiling,
Yeah,
as the roof. But the roof, it goes in between the purlins, and the one on the outside, on the girts, they used to run it down through, and then they would drill go through, because the panel's already pre-drilled, and they drill that through and put it on the girts, but it would pinch the insulation in it. So they finally caught on to that, building inspectors did, and did away with it, so now they actually make them insulate in between the girts and the wall, so that there's not that area that's not insulated anymore. You understand what I'm saying? 'Cause you know
I
that,
do,
yeah.
yeah.
So they've actually done away with that.
I'm just surprised they don't, there's no thermal break in between the metal sheath and in the metal girts.
Like a bit area.
No, it's a thermal break, it doesn't transfer your cold from
Oh,
the outside
yeah, I
into
gotcha.
the inside.
Yeah.
That's your biggest thing, it's like building a house out of
Well, the metal
2x8s,
Yeah.
you know, wherever there's a 2x, you're gonna have cold transfer.
Correct.
And I've always been, I don't like fiberglass insulation, but that's just me, I don't like fiberglass insulation, I like rock wool. You know, it's soundproof, fireproof.
You ever met Jeff Brown?
Huh?
You ever met Jeff Brown? He's gonna do it cheapest way possible. Just saying.
No, he's gonna, as long as he follows code.
Yep.
I would imagine he does. But anyways, page 4, was there any other thing?
Well, I was just wondering too about the town sign. Is that, I know that's new.
Yes.
When it was approved, did everybody know that it was gonna be like that big cost year after year? I just missed it, so I'm just wondering. Just in case it comes up.
And that's for the electrical,
Right,
the
so
electric
it's,
to run it.
right.
Is that much?
About $65 a month.
Yeah.
$70 a month.
I guess. It's kinda
Worth
like-
every penny, ain't it?
Sure is.
It's beautiful.
I remember my wife standing out there in the middle of the winter changing
Yeah,
that sign over.
she is beautiful.
So don't have timer?
So it shuts off at nighttime, the lights dim down and it shuts off at 10 o'clock. It doesn't turn on back on until 5, 4 or 5.
Four.
Shines in your bedroom, does it? Just saying. Lights up the kitchen wall already.
No, even when it comes on at 4, it's all dim. We dim it down, we have like, we can control how bright it is, how bright it is.
He can tell you exactly.
When it shuts off, so.
Is there a reason why we keep it separate from the electricity for the building?
Same way we keep the street lights separate up there.
Okay,
So it's its own meter.
Just so we,
okay, oh, okay.
So when you drive down, you stop and you look at it,
Yeah,
just to the right-hand side of it, you'll see a post with a meter on it.
Yeah.
They all have their
That's
own
just
bills.
for that.
gotcha, that makes sense. Thank you, these are stupid questions, but I just,
Well,
There are no stupid questions.
It wasn't stupid when I asked him last year, so.
there we go, see?
Or the year before, whatever it was, and I asked the same one.
Okay, 4, you said 4.
yeah, so you're good on that?
Yep,
Okay. Then you got building maintenance.
yep.
Then page 5 is
Insurances.
insurances, pretty much all we can do with that.
Yeah,
Then the reserve fund is what
this goes to,
this
yep,
was.
yep.
We're gonna make a decision on that one.
And then-
Whether to up it or to keep it, I don't remember,
Just keep it.
keep it where it was. Yeah.
Then page 7 is, we tabled that till tonight,
Okay.
7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Then we approved, page 10.
we can touch on it,
There really ain't a lot we can do with that.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, here we go.
page 10.
Oh.
So,
Sullivan's.
this may change, so I don't know if we wanna, hold on to this one. We have a meeting Wednesday morning with her. We put it out to bid, she came in, with a reasonable bid, but she wants to talk to the board about a couple of things, which those things may change this number.
The
Okay.
70 grand, the
Yeah.
70 grand just
Yeah.
for the pickup.
So, if we can
Do you wanna table that?
table that one for another week.
Everybody okay with tabling that?
I have a appropriate time to
You
ask.
can, definitely.
I was official. With the spring cleanup, did you see like, cause people had to move it to the, spot rather than them picking it up, did you see a big difference? Like in terms of
On tonnage,
tonnage?
Yep.
No. No, it was about the same. The only thing, it was a little cheaper, and we had a lot of people comment how they like doing it that way because of the town not looking like a dump for a month,
Yeah.
so that was the biggest thing.
but we also had complaints because people couldn't get there too.
Yes.
But we had a couple people that, you know, got relatives and stuff like that. We didn't have any people, it took care of itself.
Right.
We didn't have anybody out there that.
Right, yeah, cause Dick's mom, when I pull up, when I'm bringing the stuff up here and dropping it off in
Right.
people's yards.
Right.
Well, I know a couple of
Which
landlords.
really hasn't happened.
Oh,
And the
yeah,
Canard Road, the Canard Road where there's no houses real close by, Dale doesn't pay attention. We have people that pull up to Canard Road and actually dump their trash too. Yep, their regular household trash.
I've done it 9 or 10 times because they come at
Right,
5:30 in
you're a
the
resident.
morning.
but we have other people that
oh, they
pull
do,
up
they
and
at your place first?
Right.
Oh,
They do, really?
God, oh yeah, they're.
they're there at 6 AM. That's why we tell people
Really?
to have, that's why we tell people to have the trash out at 6. They're at your house at 5:30.
6 is nominal.
Usually they say 6, but
Yeah,
So-
I've gone, I've had to like, all the way down to Canard Road and like pitch it off real quick so I'm in front of them.
All right, so we're gonna table the,
Yeah,
okay,
We wanna back
library. We've never,
Okay,
on
so we're
page
going back
11,
to
we've never
7 now?
questioned the library.
Yeah.
we back to 7.
Back to 7.
Mr. Keith's Gary.
And
Cemeteries,
Probably used for some,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, that's good, okay.
we approved the cemetery. And then, these, on page 13, we don't approve or disapprove, we just put it in front of the board, actually, you put it in front of the board, and the board wants to just let the town
Down a little line,
do
yeah.
it. On the bottom, right in the Newburgh Food Pantry, asked for 2,000, that's not on there.
Oh, right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
Oh,
hadn't
okay, yeah.
submitted.
Yeah,
for
so-
what,
for
oh, okay.
See how it's zeroed,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
so they're gonna ask for 2,000,
Yeah,
worth every penny.
Yep.
General assistance, how much was in general assistance?
$1,000.
how much did we spend? You wanted to know how much we spent right this year?
Right,
700.
now it's got county tax, can't touch, education, you can't touch,
look at that number.
Yeah, no friggin' kids.
and you guys still don't know what your overlay's gonna
We
be.
won't until taxes are done. It's just last year's.
So look, now you've
number
got up.
in there.
Okay, good, thank you.
So we can go back to page 7.
So we'll go back to page 7 and, hi Brent,
How you doing?
good.
So the first one, is E911,
Yep,
which we do in the office. It hasn't changed. We buy street signs out of it. And then if anybody has to do any training classes or anything, which we haven't had to do, but we keep it in there just in case.
yep. And, compensation wages for the FDR wages.
So, last year's was 69.9. The initial that Brendan submitted was 73,395. The number that I'm recommending is the same, 65,068. And that's for him to explain the difference.
Go ahead, Brent.
So, the difference for the initial request was, obviously was due to, changes in the officers' amounts that we were asking for the officers' pay,
Yep,
as well as an increase for the assistant chief. And then also for myself, but I understood afterwards that the fire chief's compensation comes out of a whole different, line item.
yep,
So Cindy and I discussed that and it was understandable. Where did you come up, Sin, I'm sorry, with the 65?
We took, yours out of, the increase in yours, we took out of the 69.9.
Okay, so that was just a drop from what was already there, okay.
Yep.
Alright. After Cindy and I discussed that, it was understood and easily understandable that, the 69 would be enough to keep everything going the way that it has been. We have more money in it than what we realized as far as what we had to play with, so that number's fine.
65.
So the 65 is
Yeah,
fine?
65, yeah.
So that's
Okay.
around 11 or 1200 a week,
If needed,
If needed.
if needed.
Yes,
Right.
only,
that's only on call.
only call, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so we don't use all that?
No,
What do we use?
I did a thing just to, over the last couple of years, for the year 2020, they were really close in 2020.
Mhm.
Their budget, they only had about $1,000 in salaries left. In 2021, they had about $16,000 left in salaries that went into their capital.
And I would be almost willing to bet that that was because of the COVID scare.
No, it was even higher than next year.
Oh, really?
Yep. They left 21,000, a little over 21,000.
No, I mean the increase in 2020, why they were so close to coming to the budget.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
For the amount of calls
Well,
and,
their budget was lower then.
Because they were separate. The fire department and the rescue were separate in
Oh,
those years. And
yeah.
now we've combined them.
Oh,
So
21
we
was
pay
the
out
first
of
year, I
one
believe, that
account.
it combined, and
Right.
Oh, yeah.
As of so far this year, they've still got $42,000 left in their salaries. There's no way they're gonna spend
Nice.
that between now and June 30th.
Knock on wood.
I was just gonna
Please.
say,
Never
right.
say
Because if we do, then
never say never.
you'll never see me at home again for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so. Other than that, the only other thing that was different was,
So the insurance went down because of the difference in
the salary
the
amount.
salary.
Yeah.
Uniforms.
Yes, uniforms is different, that's new this year,
Yep.
because they, in the past, had bought their uniforms from their donation account, and that's dwindled down to the point where they don't have sufficient funds in there to do that, so they've included that in the budget this year.
Yeah, why is that?
We haven't had
Nobody's,
no money donated or that I'm aware of for, at all this year, have we?
but does that include fundraising too?
That, the fundraising is
Is it separate?
separate, far as,
We don't, there's been no fundraising.
but is it a separate,
No,
if we
we
do
go
get
in
anything,
donation.
it still goes to donation, okay.
Yeah.
What, the two biggest ones that we always received was, Pucker Brush Farms and Knocking Knolls for Maple Sunday.
Yeah.
In the past, we've done, gone over for the day and done traffic control.
Did you go over there this
We
weekend?
did not.
You should
We
have.
haven't been the last 2 years.
We haven't gone for the last 2 years. It just has become hard to get guys to give up a whole day Sunday to,
Well,
Go do something like
Saturday,
that.
Sunday on Chapman Road was a fiasco.
I can only imagine. And
I
I
mean, they
talked
took
to
the
Lenny
money.
for close to 3 hours on Friday afternoon because he was scared to death of what it was gonna go back to. Because we've been doing it and it's worked out very well, but I just can't get the guys together.
Did they,
That's part of the problem.
did they go up to the top of the hill where they had?
Oh, they were packed almost to the Flynn Road.
Really?
Yeah.
We gave, they have, the years that we were
Yeah.
still doing traffic, they still were parked clear up by
God
the.
forbid you ever had to put an ambulance through, on that road.
Yep.
God forbid you ever had to put an ambulance, it weren't gonna happen.
Couple, 3 years ago, the whole issues arose when Penobscot County tried to get a deputy over on the other side of town for a call, and he got caught dead ass in the middle of that, and there was just people running every which way, trying to get out of his way, but making worse of a problem. He couldn't get through the cars, and they pretty much told Lenny that if that continued, then they would basically make him shut it down.
Right.
Wow.
So,
No,
that's why we started, to help him out.
Yeah, no, there needs to be, if they're gonna do that, they need a flag up.
They should hire their own, I mean, they're an
They could
entertainer.
hire
There
their
are
own
flagging
Yeah.
companies that
Right.
would get down there.
And that's where our donation factors have gone down, that type of stuff.
Right.
Park and brush, we still do. Last year, there was just a miscommunication factor, and it took us a little longer to get everything underway, and, when it was all said and done, Bren wasn't real happy about the whole situation, so we didn't get a donation. She wasn't mad completely at the town or the department, it was just a misunderstanding. So we continued to do our services out there and help them, but there was no fundage.
Right.
So I'm hoping this year, she told me this year, I also stand for her over there, so she told me this year that she had full intentions on giving something back to the fire department if we were able to help them.
Right.
So, you know, I'm hopefully in full support to going over there again and doing that for her.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, but you can only spend so long out of something that doesn't get replenished, and
Oh, I know.
you've gotta come to an end at some point, and we're pretty much there.
But if it's a safety concern and we have a continuous, rollover for their wages, does it make sense to maybe pay the guys to do that for Sunday? I get what you're saying is that they could hire their flaggers too, which is true, but they are taxpayers and it's a big business in our area,
Well, that's the whole thing though, right? I mean, it's kind of their business.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
I could go either way on it, but,
right.
If
if it's a safety concern
in the
for our
past,
town,
if my guys have been there,
yeah,
they've been paid,
yeah,
because
okay,
they are, even though they're doing a service for a particular business, it's still my guys out on that road that are taking a chance
Right.
of something
Right.
bad happening, getting hurt.
yeah,
You know, traffic is the worst thing you can deal with. It's
Right, you have
worse
to
than a
pay
burning
because of
building.
what it's called.
And
gotcha,
Hard
in order for them to
drive,
get covered,
offer a service like that,
yeah,
you've got to make it available for
everybody,
everybody.
okay, gotcha,
that's the downside to it.
Yeah.
It's, last year, for instance, we had an issue with burning fields.
mhm,
We did this one out here, cause obviously it's town property, and it was a great training opportunity for us with the forestry service. We had a night out here with 3 or 4 departments, it went great, and within a week, we had,
Not even.
not even a week, we had more
People
people
so mad, cause they.
calling
won't
the town,
turn it.
everything but
oh, yeah.
American made, and the fire department was nothing but a bunch of trash pickers, and because they thought we should go burn all of their fields too.
Well, when that property gets taken for taxes, then you will go burn.
Yes.
Because it's property of the town,
That's right.
right? You know what I'm saying?
It's just
I
really
s-
hard.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just thinking
really
if it's a
hard.
safety concern, you see it in the media
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time about people getting hit, and things like that, and gosh.
I mean,
you
if we're gonna,
want that.
if we were to do that, and I had the full blessing and everything was good to go, it would be on the clock, there's just no
Yeah.
other way, because my guys aren't gonna get covered if they're not
Right,
on the clock, being paid for by the town, it's,
Sorry.
that's the way it
What we
is.
need to do is come up with a
Fee schedule.
fee
Yeah.
schedule for it,
mhm,
you
that
know.
makes sense. I was just under
Yep.
the impression
But
that it
it's
was
only
donation,
based
so,
on if
Yeah.
you can get the membership to participate.
yeah,
The problem is, like Brent said, finding 2 guys that wanna spend 12, 14 hours on the Chapman Road directing traffic.
Yep. And it,
In the cluster that it is.
yep, and that's the other thing, I mean,
Just
the
not a
first
real
year,
opportunity.
yeah,
the first year we done it, it was, I believe there was 4 firefighters and myself, and, we just continually rotated and rotated, but it was a long ass day, and, I mean, by the end of the day, the guys, they're pretty worn out, and no matter how much you, you rotate out, you're still pretty tired, and then on top of that, you got, unfortunately, people in town and out of town that are not happy with you for holding up traffic, and they don't think that traffic should be stopped on a road that is their throughway, and no matter what you try to explain, it doesn't work. So it's it's a really,
Never win.
really rough situation, there's no win to it.
Right.
So I'm guessing that equipment maintenance, the reason that that was taken out was because it wasn't used, and that's why it was sent down from equipment maintenance down to vehicle maintenance.
I believe so.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yes.
Because equipment maintenance would be air packs and
Anything,
hose testing.
anything that is for on the trucks or for the use of obviously the department, but not the trucks themselves.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Right, and that just wasn't being used, but it
Right,
could
that-
be used down in vehicle
right,
maintenance.
Correct.
How are our vehicles?
I'm proud to say that since I took over, they have come to the front. I've spent a lot of money, and it was unfortunate because I walked into a hornet's nest and tried to, I'm still trying to fix it. But I've done a good job, I think, of getting the trucks back up to where they need to be. We've had to do some serious, work on 61 and 64 to start with pump repairs and a lot of repacking, a lot of new internal stuff on the trucks themselves that have just been overlooked. And the other truck right now that's the thorn is 467. It just seems like I get one problem fixed and it finds another one for me. And no matter what I do.
Is that the one you guys had talked about getting rid of and getting a new one later?
No, that's the one they just got a new one for.
That's
the
the
air
new
truck.
That's the air truck.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the new
yeah.
air truck.
That
they
was
just got.
purchased basically outside of the fire department, and it had downfalls before it ever started, and it just has continued to be downfalls. I'm doing my best to get ahead of it. I've fixed a lot of stuff, but we still keep finding things that are making us scratch our heads on.
It's a very complex truck that not a lot of people around here
Yeah.
know a lot of the stuff on it.
Right,
Due to the air system for the SCBA,
right,
it's
right.
specialized, and you've got to take it to just a couple places that, know what they're looking at, or
Is
have the
Auto
guys
Works
that,
still working on it?
Autotronics is
Electronics,
one of the top ones,
yeah,
or K&T
yeah.
from Island Falls comes down. If
Eagle and
it's,
Houghton is the main,
yeah, if it's on the truck end of it, then, Dale and Holton is doing most of it, because they're an international dealer.
Right,
But if it's anything that involves internal aspects of the equipment that's on the truck for what it's being used for, you gotta keep it pretty much high and tight to the guys that
Right.
understand what they're looking at. Those SCBA units are very, very particular on making sure they stay safe for the guys to be able to breathe air.
yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Maintenance, repair, everything, again, just explain, you move money down. Equipment services, again, move money down. Commercial maintenance, vehicle maintenance, equipment, everything looks good through there, you guys?
Check.
Yeah.
Questions? Over to animal control.
no changes in animal control.
We still have the same person?
No, we have a new girl, her name is Perry
Okay.
Peterson.
Who's in Dixmoor?
Yeah,
Good.
That $350 is just, that's not even cost of living.
what,
Her
three?
increase?
Yeah,
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 just the cost of living.
and she's willing to do it. Good for her.
Yeah, she's all about the animals, that's for
That's,
sure. She's not gonna
that's a
take any,
thankless job.
No,
she's not gonna take any shit when it comes to the animals, so.
Nope.
no,
she wouldn't have had a good day over on the North Road one
No.
day.
no, she'd have gone ballistic.
Yes, she would have. Right beside me. I was not a happy camper on that
No, neither was I.
one. Nope.
And they still haven't done nothing with that building, have they?
Somebody's
They're
living in
moving
it.
back in it,
They're moving back in or
Yeah,
moving?
somebody's in it.
Somebody said they're
They've
moving
been in
back
it all
in.
winter.
yeah, they've been working on it.
Yeah.
They're living in it?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought that was condemned.
So
wasn't
did
it?
I.
Yeah, wow.
They better have a certificate, a CO, a certificate of occupancy.
It wasn't condemned.
Wasn't. Maine State Fire Marshal didn't
No.
condemn that building?
He didn't.
No. No.
Well, it should have
Wait,
been.
didn't,
Okay, moving on. Public safety, fire department wages
This
for,
is where we moved
everything.
his raised
Yep.
out.
The bill, Bueller,
Yep, we did a D in there, don't we?
somewhere, that's okay. Never say never.
Is that a
Telephone
trio
electric.
problem?
That's not a great deal.
First responders. How is our first responders?
Well,
Why don't you ask him?
it's great.
How is our lovely first responders?
Well, you now have 2 new EMTs.
That's a good thing.
Scott, Raylan, and myself both took the class and went through and passed.
I saw that on Facebook,
So-
congratulations, I think I said that.
Yep, you actually did, and, as of January, when we have gone basically full duty, our percentage rate for answering has been 99%.
Perfect.
And, this month will actually be 100. I've answered every.
How many calls a month you guys average?
We average 14 to 15.
Really? Little town of Newburgh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Last month
assuming
was,
we're not servicing Dixmont anymore.
last month was the lightest one I've seen in a long time. That was 6 calls. We answered 5 out of the 6. And this one here, up to date, I shouldn't say it because I know what will happen. Damn you. But it's
Don't look at me,
It's
unless
11.
I call you.
it's 11 right now, and they've all been answered.
Yeah.
We only have 4 days to go, so
Yeah.
you're looking good.
Oh, you do that, say, not quick.
Oh, no, it'll be alright.
But, yeah, no, it's going very well. We actually have 5 total members on there. Neil Ashford and Alex Lehman are also on that, but because they work for Bangor and both of them live out of town, it's hard for them to get out here unless they're in town when we get a call
Right.
to respond, but, hopefully Scott gets back on his feet and he gets feeling better, he'll be back, but for now, Craig and I are doing a pretty good job, I think, of holding down the fort.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, do you still getting kickback from Capital?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, on all
And I'm
transports.
assuming we're still not going to Dixmont?
Yep, alright.
I will, if we get
Check.
engaged, that's a
Cap it in next to Craig.
That's a very tough area.
Okay. I knew it was back when I
Yeah.
was
Well, it's,
part of the board.
it's
I
one of
didn't know
those,
if it was still a,
well, it's just one of
contentions.
those things, you know, the mutual aid agreements don't cover EMS. It's something that we've actually been working on, not we as in Dixmoor or us, but as the Penobscot County Chiefs. We've had several meetings and we have a chiefs group that they call the Super 7, which are the group that all of us fall into, Newburgh, Dixmont, Stetson, Etna, not Stetson, Levant, Etna, Herman,
Carmel.
Carmel. And we've been working on that problem as well to take it further to the Penobscot
right,
as a workout factor because they've tried to come up with a plan that would work for it to become a mutual aid agreement because they're so damn short-handed.
right.
There's nothing out there worse right now than the EMS service as far as
Right, yeah.
having short-handed.
Dixmont doesn't have an EMT service.
They
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Oh, they do?
They have 2 people that are pretty much running steady. That's Al and Carol.
Yep,
They live up there on Route 9.
yep.
Matter of fact.
I didn't know they were still doing
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah, well, they're diehards. I mean,
Well, it's,
they've been there obviously since Butch and Jenny days, so
right,
they're still making the calls the best they can, but Al actually has gone back to work full-time, and Chris Easton, the chief, is working again at a job somewhere, and so he's out of town. So Chris actually called me and said, I know it's a sore subject, but if we have, you know, a 911 call that's medical, can I ask for you to possibly respond? And I'm not gonna say no to somebody
Right.
at 911, I'll take the beating later, but I won't say no.
right.
So I'll answer that to all of you, just to let you
Well, what
know.
do they say? It's easy to ask forgiveness at first.
And it is for permission.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, forgiveness and that's permission, yeah.
Were we responding on a fire call?
Yes, because we're part of the mutual aid, county mutual aid
You know, I would
agreement.
think it would be covered since it's part of the fire department now, it's not a separate entity, right?
That's,
I mean, it's splitting hairs there.
It is
Well,
splitting hairs.
but it says right in the mutual aid agreement for the fire
Right,
that it EMS is not
And that's
Oh.
where,
included.
that's where the problem lies, is in the write-up of the county mutual aid.
Gotcha.
When this all got written up, there was more than ample amount of coverage for EMS and fire. And unfortunately, the towns are just steadily dropping off, losing
Yeah,
coverage, losing EMS guys, ambulance services are going down the toilet. It's not a good thing. If people understand the numbers and what's going on, it would scare you. And,
How many guys on the Newburgh Fire Department?
we have 13 total.
is that up or down?
That's steady, been right across the board for 5 years, 6 years.
So you used to have like 26.
Oh yeah, we had, back in the Gary Sibley days and the start of the Glen days,
Right.
we had, I believe when we started, I think there was 24.
Yeah.
That was on.
I had 23 of them barking at me one
Yeah.
meeting, so.
So you know how many there was, you can count them all. But, yeah, we've held, like I said, we've held a pretty steady number for the last few years, considering everything that's happened. It's come back, you know, full tilt. I mean, the department's 100% all about this town.
Just a note on the EMS side, a lot of the departments around, full-time departments mainly, have an issue with, they will respond to certain types of calls, only because of cost and coverage for their own town. Hampton sent us a note probably 6-8 months
Yeah,
ago,
I'd say at least 6, yeah.
that they're not gonna respond out here to
Any A,
lower level calls.
anything A, B, or C for Alpha, Bravo, or Charlie call levels, it has to be at least Delta or Echo, which, I mean, if you reach the Delta, then you're on the far end of the bad line.
Right.
Echo
Which is
is
a
very
hard
bad.
thing to do, but, you
Right.
know, when they have to call back people to cover Hamden while they're out here, number one, and pay for it, number two, if they can't get the help, like you can't get the EMTs in any department.
Right.
So, you know, it's understandable.
We're having, I mean, that whole thing was a scare to start with not having Hamden in kind of in our back pocket, if you will, because they've always been there. But it wasn't just us. I mean, they've cut
They
off,
said, yeah,
they cut off all surrounding mutual, if you will, mutual aid towns that they've always serviced. They cut everybody.
Somebody said they won't even go to Winterport.
Nope, they won't go to Winterport.
Bangor did the same thing
yep. Yep.
couple years ago.
And right now, honestly, our biggest problem out here, you don't see it unless you hear it, but I mean, we're having troubles getting Northern Light out here.
Yeah,
I don't wanna scare anybody, but I'm
Right.
telling you straight up that we have a major problem
It's
because
not just here. It's
I just did you get the email from the director from Northern Light today?
I don't know.
I've got a meeting with her, April, I think it's April 3rd or April 4th. She asked for, at Levant Fire, for all fire chiefs and EMS chiefs to try to make this meeting, and it's all about, trying to improve Northern Lights coverage and trying to see if, my guess, the way I read it, was to see who would be interested in possibly working with Northern Light as well, if you have a medical license, because they're so short-handed.
Right.
They've lost over half their fleet
Yeah.
of ambulances.
And some of their ambulances are only running, what, basic or?
Yeah, basic.
Basic EMT, or maybe most of them
On an average day now,
used to call.
it's, all of them used to have a paramedic level, every one of them. And on an average day now, they have at least 5 units that are basic only, and that's Northern Light. You gotta find a paramedic from somebody else to meet up with a Northern Light ambulance to do anything above our scope of practice, and that's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had many calls where, not us, but as a whole, where if they've had to, they've ran code 3 with a basic trying to keep somebody going to get to the hospital because they couldn't find a paramedic to even meet up with them. Their flight car, they call it a flight car, which is the car that will meet you out on any scene to help out. That's basically their only on-duty paramedic that's available to roll, but there's only one guy, and you get 3 or 4 calls going in an area that's close by, and he can only pick one, and the rest of us are on our own, so.
And all present accounted for.
Fill
Yeah.
that all day long.
Unfortunately, things are changing.
So we all good with this?
We're, yeah, I'm good.
Check.
I have an eye on,
Aye.
public safety. At $167,172. Aye.
Aye.
Public Works, Summer Roads, did we table it?
Yeah, we
Did
talked
do that
about
last?
Yeah,
We talked about this last time.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but we were waiting on this.
So what's the? Uh-oh,
Ed's gonna ruin the meeting right here now.
Yeah.
Not bad,
ready to throw my hat in.
less than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's what it was gonna cost to do Lindsay Road last year, and now we're doing 3.
Yeah, cause hot top's gone down.
Yeah.
So this is a quote
Yeah.
for
That's a hot top, yeah.
Tapley Farm Road, there's a piece of that. Chapman Road, there's a piece of that, and, a shim, on Lindsay Road. Total for all 3 is $115,805.
That's shim and overlay on Lindsay Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and both other roads are shim and overlay as well.
So,
From start to finish, or just portions?
Yep.
Portions?
Now, do we have money in there for shouldering too? You have to redo some shoulders on,
Yeah, but I think you'll find that that's, in this money here, not,
okay,
The
You know what I'm
other side.
saying?
yeah,
that would go along with culverts and ditching.
okay, yeah, no, that's,
so.
I know I had asked, I
So
forgot
what's
to ask
happening
that last
here?
time.
Yeah.
Do we wanna increase the unassigned,
What, and pull that out of,
or do a
Surplus?
separate?
no, I
article?
wanna be able to use it for whatever we need to use it, I don't,
Right, but do we wanna do a separate article outside of this for just this project and take it from fund balance?
I personally don't think so, because we're gonna let the board pick at it,
Yeah,
and then you're gonna let the town pick at it.
yeah,
So put it all in one,
put it in this budget here.
yep.
And when they ask what the
And-
increase is.
But that's my opinion, I've got 4 others that have an opinion too.
So we would increase the 46,428
Okay,
By 111,
by $116,000.
I would increase it to 120.
well,
Oh, of the unassigned for this year, is that, oh, have we spent that? In this year? The unassigned that,
No, no,
so how much have we not spent?
I am guessing our fund balance is, what did
no,
you say
you
it was
wanted
gonna
to
be?
know about the unassigned.
The unassigned,
How much do we have left in this?
From the
22,
43.
23 unassigned.
so are we spending all that unassigned, or is there?
We're gonna spend the majority of it,
Okay, that's fair enough.
we're gonna spend,
Yeah,
hopefully
and
he's
whatever
gonna
we
get
don't
back
spend
to,
goes back in the surplus.
No, I know that, but if
So
we're not
while you're
spending
talking about that,
anything.
can I ask one quick question on the dry hydrant factor? Is that coming out of any town budget money now,
outside of
or
ARPA funds.
is it still opera?
Yeah,
Have you guys got dry hydrants now besides the one in the pond?
We've used,
hopefully, here the next couple of
Eddie
months.
Eddie and I have been working on it since, what, last fall?
Yeah.
this is what we
We've
have.
come up with, what do we got now, 5 sites?
3,
You
Three
guys
that are-
you guys brought down to 3?
yeah,
Okay.
3 that are
Brought down
official.
to 3 sites. I had 5 that were,
Right, well,
that I,
the
Well,
ones that have piping now are no good,
correct. And,
like the one on the Chapman Road.
correct,
on Route
that
9.
one's, that's one of them. What's the 3 that you had decided on, and I'm not,
Sand shed,
yeah,
doing the sand shed,
absolutely.
and,
Tapley Farm.
Tapley Farm.
Tapley Farm and all,
The
yes.
third one is the one that we have to meet and discuss,
Okay.
It's on the north
cause
road.
you wanted, one of the ones you wanted was the one,
Kennebec Road.
Yeah, up
yeah,
to,
on that hill, which, that's gonna be way more involved than. I
you're
think
talking
we
about the
can-
one that's already existing?
Yes,
Okay,
In the pond, yeah.
yeah, it's
Where
already
it's back
there,
in the
that's
trees.
Carl,
so, we still have to meet on that third one,
okay,
Carl Tyler's,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
it's just a hard chance right there.
It's, when that was put in, everything that was there now was never there when we put that one in. There was a big turnaround in there for us to actually come in off his driveway and back down to it.
That's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, now it's, I mean,
Is what it
it
is.
is what it is, he owns it, it's, you know, he's great, he has never.
Oh, I
had-
know. Oh, I
Never
know.
had an issue and still tells us today, you know,
So-
use it as
So
you need
one
it. but-
twenty,
Buddy, what's left in that account is 21,000.
And you're gonna use that before June.
Yes.
When's our fiscal year? June?
June.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would take 120, whether you raise it
So
by
add
10.
it to the 46.
Yep, be
Plus
166 for,
120. And then increase what we do in fund balance.
yep,
Offset it.
unless the, board wants to, raise taxes, that's,
Okay. Works for me.
no.
Just on the
You're just, we didn't have the public.
Oh, I like that. Just when you think he's not even paying attention, he's got you.
Okay, so I woke him up.
So we're tabling the waste management.
Until you
yeah,
have
but
a
hold,
meeting.
yeah, but hold on. So, we're gonna, let's go back to, Public Works and Winter Roads. In that envelope right there was another sheet, yellow one, that you really need to look at, cause we really need to make a decision.
Can't make a decision tonight.
Well, I'm just saying that, well, because we have an
These
entity,
little love notes.
I was gonna say, it looks official.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's right now price. And here's the thing, it's gonna do the same exact thing it did last year in May. May, it's gonna go right through the roof. So I don't know if you have the abilities to pull, because it's not that right now with the county fund, correct? With the county,
Last year it
Account.
was $75 and change,
right,
I believe.
Can you get-
79.
can you get that right now through them?
No,
No, cause we didn't bid on it.
that's last year's bid. They're putting out a new bid.
I
Is that
understand
for
that,
salt?
but yes, but can you get that before that bid comes out? Like if you called them tomorrow, can you say, hey, I,
We didn't
We
get in
didn't
on
bid
that
on
bid,
it, cause we bought all the
cause we
extra.
bought all from the year before. We didn't get in on the county bid last year.
yeah, but you don't think that they've got in reserve that,
We can't get it,
no matter what?
no, we didn't get in on the bid.
So, alright, so that being said, so I've kind of done some thinking about this, so that being said, if we do what we gotta do right now, to
Yeah.
get what we've gotta get, and then save, well, but you don't even know what it's gonna be.
I'm hoping it's gonna be roughly right around what it was last year.
Are you looking at the same amount of tonnage?
Yeah, it'll be the same amount of tonnage, but it's the price per ton is
That's gone up.
what's going up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's double,
Holy
Double.
snookies.
yeah,
What is it?
so,
What?
$80 a ton?
Take it.
Damn. Call Stevie and tell him to treat us a little better.
Well, that's the thing, is this is the price that he got.
right, and that's at any price.
So, we generally go to bid with the county. They do a big, massive bid.
Multi-town,
And,
state.
how they do the whole
we
thing,
didn't
yeah.
do it last year
Municipalities.
because we had the money in the budget before the end of the year and went on the old contract,
It was 55.
which was 55. So ours last year, we got a deal last year, reprieve for a year that no other town got. They all paid 79 a ton. We paid 54, something like
5,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
5 and change.
So what was the,
So he went looking, right now, the price he got was $80 a ton.
84, isn't it?
I thought it was 80.
Through us.
That's gonna be
From
Oh,
Steve.
84.
Steve Cushing, gotta be, yeah.
$84 a ton.
Yeah.
But
He
I
pretty much
just
runs the
submitted
market,
the
so.
paperwork for the bid through the county, which we're obligated to now. So, and we have to buy 2/3 of that?
Yeah, 3/4.
Yeah,
3/4 of it. So they allotted for 180 ton, so you're gonna have to buy 140 ton through this,
the county
County.
bid.
through the county bid. But the only thing is that could work to your benefit because, I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there
Yeah,
because, like you said, cause you don't know what that county bid's gonna be.
No.
I mean, it could be $120 a ton,
That's right.
for all we know, which next spring, that might be a bargain price.
Yeah.
Right.
But I
This is
do
the price
know-
you guys have locked in
That was today's price.
now.
Well, today's or this, you know what I mean?
This week.
Right,
Yeah.
there's no boat, there's not a boat coming in, I think it's probably 2 or 3 weeks before there's another boat. That price won't change until that next boat comes in. When that
Yeah.
next boat comes in is when everything is gonna,
Yeah.
Explode.
right, everything's
If
gonna
that
be
boat
crazy.
comes in.
What? Oh, it's coming. It's coming, there's 4 of them coming.
So,
Alright,
So what's the tonnage that the town usually goes through
190.
for the season?
Yeah, last year we put 240 up.
Yep.
And there's probably 20 ton left in the shed.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, cause that's about what it takes,
Yeah.
somewhere 220 tons
15
to put 1,500 yards
I was
of
gonna say about 15.
sand,
Yep.
yeah.
190 times 80 is 15.2. We use, cause we're at 80 right now, maybe.
That's,
Yeah,
Possible.
79 and change is what they
So
had last
80
year.
times-
Oh,
Times
boy.
190, 15.2.
Right, but you're
Okay.
probably, I bet you you'll see that go up to close to $90.
yeah,
I was gonna say, does the county price usually
But-
beat out?
So
I
we're
still
at
think we-
22.
So the
4.
I still think we'll have plenty of money.
so the
We
22,000,
increased it based on the 79.
right, and that's what I just figured out.
Yeah.
So,
Gave us
So
some
that's
wiggle-
what you,
gave us some
so that's
wiggle
what you
room,
went
so they
with,
increased
how
it.
much, what'd you do for tonnage?
190
190 ton, and that's what you come up
At
with,
80
15
bucks.
grand?
15.2, yeah.
Right, so if you take it to the 84 that he just got quoted,
Right.
it'll put you close to the
So we're actually,
20
22.
back, right.
so you're actually staying ahead of the game, cause you're pre-buying, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Before, you're getting this year's price next year.
Yeah. But, you don't know, the county could come in. at
well, that's okay,
79.
fuel's gonna go down, cause Biden's gonna save us.
In that case, then, let's buy now, let's buy,
Okay.
like,
Should've
2 or
bought
3
yesterday.
years now.
So.
Alright, so,
So there's $190 difference between 79 and 80.
Yeah,
What's that?
not much. It may, you know, I mean, we've got
I mean,
22.4 in there based on,
which is plenty.
yeah,
But your 180 ton isn't enough salt to fill the building. You know what I'm saying?
right, but we are, I mean, if we have to go over, there's allowances for that.
Alright, so you're gonna,
So if we get to the 2/3, we'll see what the county brings in, and
Well,
get to the
240,
2/3, and then we'll see what the price is. I
Two-
just have to buy that 2/3 or we get
Six.
penalized.
oh, I understand that, but like I'm saying, but you could do that with next year's budget.
What do you mean?
well, 240 ton times 84 is 20,000, and we're still under the 22.4 that we're asking.
Right, but that's if it's $84 a ton.
Wasn't that the price you just gave us?
Yes,
For
but
the next
that's
3
not,
weeks.
right, but that's not what the county price is gonna be.
So I
Right.
think,
That's our price
I
right
don't know
now.
what
Right,
it's
so-
worth.
so I
Why
think
don't we-
you want us to spend the salt budget that we didn't use this year on the $84
And buy
a
that
ton.
$80
And buy the
$84
$84 a ton, and then when the county bids comes in, we'll spend the 2/3
Thank
that we
you.
need to.
Yeah.
Picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm glad you got it, cause
We haven't touched our salt because we bought it for last
Yep.
year in last year's budget, so this year's salt budget
Exactly.
we never touched.
so,
So you wanna buy what we can at $84 a ton to half fill the thing, half fill the sand shed.
or to completely fill it.
Right. as
Because
much
we're
as
gonna
we
burn
can.
that up and by this time next year,
Right.
then but you still got
But
that
we
in your
still have
back
the county
pocket
bid that we can buy next spring at that rate,
with this money.
right, with that
because you-
22
That's right.
per.
I gotcha.
I got
you.
got you.
I got
Thank
one
you.
question. Are
That's
we
why
all
you're
good
here.
with this, and I'm getting
That's
hungry?
why you.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
I'm good with
I
it.
wanna talk about salt more.
You good with 22?
Yeah.
Okay, say aye.
Okay,
Aye. Arr.
Alright.
Alright, sand, 38,750, you good with that?
Yeah, I don't see that increasing.
Okay, 900 for electricity, that ain't gonna change, 7,600 for fuel surcharge. Professional services. Yeah. $457,494, we're gonna add $120,000 to that.
Yikes.
Are you all good with that?
Ed.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay.
I've
Aye.
been trying to do that for 4 or 5 years now.
Jeez. So that's gonna change that to $577,494.
Wow.
Check.
And I think that's it, right, until we hear back from Cindy on the,
Yeah, everything's done. Are we good with next Monday?
yeah, fine with me.
Everybody?
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll update this, your numbers, just
Completely.
the whole thing. And the board will have had their meeting on Wednesday, and we'll have a better understanding, and I will talk to them about what you're thinking.
Okay, you did understand that, correct?
Yeah.
And Katie,
Been
thank
talking
you
to
for
me
putting
all day,
everything
but I wasn't
in layman's
getting
terms.
Yes. Yeah, that's
You're
why you're
welcome.
here.
You're welcome. I
That's
was
why
picking
you're
up what
here,
you're
Katie.
putting down and I knew where you were going.
I smell what you're stepping in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Knew
no,
where he was going with that.
So next Monday at 5,
Yeah,
everybody?
what's that date?
Third.
In
I
the
got no
office.
coffee. Oh, maybe I got a coffee. Oh my god, I can't see it.
Just a little one.